also introduce you to Fina. Fina is the youngest person here, and she applied for a scholarship, and she also sent in an abstract that she was going to present to track. She won the scholarship based on her recommendations from her art instructors, and we loved the concept that she had to offer so much, we decided to give her 10 minutes up here on stage. So, this is called The Role of Youth in the Rebirth of Figurative Art. Please welcome Fina. Fina?
Donor that so generously supported my fellow scholarship winners and I for being here today. I'm sure I speak for my other scholarship winners in this incredible feeling it is to be here for the very first FACE conference. I had originally submitted an abstract to Michael Pierce for track, but didn't get an email response, so I thought I'd probably push my young limits a bit far and probably needed to hit my Harold Speed books a little more before trying that ever again. However, I was later asked to speak here tonight on this stage after a panel of people I completely admire and before a demo by a legend. It is humbling, and I hope I do this time slot justice, and I hope I represent all those youth out there wanting me to say the right thing. You walk by the statue of a young Michelangelo by Emilio Zocchi in Florence's Palazzo Pitti. Studying the detail of the young face in amazement, it is a human connection to look at the profile of this young boy that was so incredibly skilled. A glimpse into time of what it was like to see a young genius at work. A time where talent was vast and youth were so technically trained. They were all working to become great masters and do grandeur pieces that would be recorded as some of the greatest works in history. You hear in an art lecture that Van Dyck did an amazing self-portrait when he was only 14 while training with Rubens. He was so incredibly gifted at a young age and training with the best at the time. You wander the visiting exhibit at the Prado of a young Pablo Picasso. You cherish the exquisite shading on the torso of the bar plates that were studied from this great master. How amazing to learn that even this artist that creates such a dramatic shift in art studied the fundamentals and basics of the human figure before attempting to change the rules of structure. These are just a few examples of the exact feelings I've had in my travels through Western Europe and even back at my home at the Minneapolis Institute of Art. We all know that in the past there were great amounts of weight put on early training of such important traditions and techniques. Before these masters could convey a voice, there were methodical lessons in fundamental techniques. There were hours of time spent copying, mixing, and adjusting their works to perfection. There's this amazement we all feel in looking back, and yet it is a missing piece that is virtually lost today. This missing piece is the training and guidance of youth. Today, art and traditional schooling is a vast study of compressed curriculum crafts. Children like me are suppressed to expressing creativity in simple mediums, often still including crayon and clay. There is not a lot of emphasis on proper drawing techniques. Rather, the focus is hitting a variety of genres that more focus on culture and voice. The techniques of drawing are often overlooked. The result is perpetuating generations that try to compare modern art to traditional art and overlook the techniques and think it's boring and without a voice. In music class, we learn the notes before singing the songs. In science, we learn the fundamentals and formulas before building models. In language arts, We learn to construct sentences before writing essays. Art is the only class that doesn't require fundamentals and is often only an elective. If we do exceptional art, our top opportunity of recognition is often left to our county and state fairs. There are plenty of other contests out there, only to be met with obstacles in fine print. Must be 16 to apply, must be 18 years of age. Endless restrictions for youth. Classes to help in portfolio strength for a good art school are only for high school students. There is no clear path of training leading up to this point if you are interested in the arts. I have loved to do art since I could hold a pencil. When my parents tried to find me a good art class, they went straight to the museum because we spent a lot of time there. I went to several programs. The first class was getting to know other kids, and the second class was great, and we got to do a project. And the last class ended with a cookie and punch kid-themed art reception. A great class model that fit the mold for most families. I was not satisfied. I told my parents I wanted to do real art. They asked about the older classes, but because of my age, they wouldn't let me in. My parents searched the city until they found the Art Academy, a place where they specialize in teaching proper art techniques, especially children. I have been there ever since and feel lucky every single day to have such talented teachers and have made so many great friends along the way. There are other schools with great stories like this, but they're often far away, hard to find, or cost a lot of money. With new political realms, our school and community art programs are being put to the wayside. Realism is strong, and figurative art is approaching comeback, a renaissance of its own. Where does that leave us? The true youth. We are here. We are the continuum of your ateliers. We are the authors of the board for the bar copies of tomorrow. We are not all addicted to self-worth in digital media. To me, there's no wonderful love of the fresh aroma of a fresh toned canvas from watching an online video. In-studio experience is a must for learning properly. Perhaps you think it's too bold, but you need us to ensure this time capsule of methods remains intact. Likewise, we need you to ensure this epitome of traditions is learned properly. How do we come together to form this partnership of success? You are all influential leaders that care about the future. You can vote. You can help make changes in communities, including our schools. As youth, we can be active in programs offered and being a voice, if allowed, through art councils. We are sponges of passion that want to learn. Help teach us firsthand. This lineage of study cannot be diluted, rather it must remain pure, informed, and passed on. Help us find the avenue of mentorship. Help us have real opportunities to learn the great truths of figurative art for the future. Let's work together to find new ways to engage the youth in a meaningful way. I can't wait to see what masterpieces are created for our future generations to study. So let's make it our mission to transform the future for the better as we embrace the role of youth in the figurative arts.